All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and especially if you are new to the channel. So, Dillian Whyte said that he would have destroyed Deontay Wilder, and he calls him a coward. I'm going to be quoting something that Dillian Whyte said. It's ridiculous for a third fight being done, considering he lost the first fight. I think Tyson Fury is better than him in every department. What's he going to change now that he hasn't changed in the past 15 years? Nothing. He's going to change nothing. Okay, he can't throw a jab. He can't box. His balance is terrible. His neck is too weak, and he doesn't hit as hard as everyone says. For him, it's more timing and speed, and allowed him to knock out the guys he did. It's not like he has such a devastating punching. It's not like he's such a devastating puncher. You look at his record, he hasn't really knocked out anyone of note, really. Now you know why the coward ran away from me for so long. I was his number one challenger since 2017, yet he never wanted to fight me and ducked and swerved my rifle shot for 900 days, pathetically hiding behind the WBC and begging them to allow him to fight anyone but me. I would have destroyed him, and he knows it. Damn. So that's what Dillian, the body snatcher, had to say. He feels that he would have destroyed Deontay Wilder. He also feels that Deontay Wilder is an overrated puncher. As you saw here, he says that he relies more on timing and speed, and he doesn't think that he's necessarily a one punch and knockout artist. I disagree with that. And then he says that it's ridiculous that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are even fighting for a third fight, because Fury basically beat him twice. And that's one thing I do agree with Dillian Whyte. I do think that the third Wilder versus Fury fight is pointless. I don't really care for it, because I saw Fury outbox Wilder. I saw Fury beat him in a boxing match. Okay, I saw Fury beat him in a boxing match, even though they called it a draw. I saw him giving him lessons when it came to fighting fighting a boxing match. And then I saw Fury beat him in a street fight. Like, he mauled him, he walked him down. So the fact that Deontay Wilder couldn't compete with Fury and none of those styles, I feel that there's just no point in seeing a trilogy. But obviously, these two signed a contract stating that they will fight in a trilogy no matter what. So there's nothing we could do as fans. Now, when it comes to him saying that he would have destroyed Deontay Wilder, I've said this. I've always said this, and I'm never going to change my opinion on this. I've always said that I felt that Dillian Whyte would lose to Wilder. Because I feel that Dillian Whyte doesn't have head movement. You know, I understand that Tyson Fury walked down Deontay Wilder and stuff like that, but Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte are totally different fighters. Dillian Whyte doesn't have the speed that Tyson Fury has. Dillian Whyte doesn't have the size that Tyson Fury has. The one thing Dillian Whyte does have, though, is he is a bigger puncher. That's one thing I will say. I do think he hits harder. And I do think that he would hurt Deontay Wilder and drop him and possibly knock him out if he caught him. But at the same token, I do think that Wilder would have knocked out Dillian Whyte if he caught him as well. I don't agree when Dillian Whyte says that Wilder's not as big of a puncher as people claim he is. I don't agree with that. I do think that Wilder has a really big punch. I do think he's a devastating puncher. It was just the fact that Fury was so good at riding away from the punch. Every time Wilder would throw the right hand, you would see Fury move, like use his body, but at the same time, he would turn his head. You never saw Fury directly take the punch. He would always turn his head and move to the side. So it was easy. So Fury was basically like taking a lot of the sting out of Deontay Wilder's right hand. But Deontay Wilder's definitely a big puncher, and I don't think that Dillian Whyte has that capability of just riding and sliding away and avoiding punches. I think it would be more easier for Deontay Wilder to land his right hand on someone like Dillian Whyte. Not saying Dillian Whyte wouldn't beat him. I do think that Dillian Whyte could knock out Wilder, because I don't think Wilder has the best chin. But like I said, at the same time, I also believe that Wilder could knock out Dillian Whyte. But yeah, the one thing I agree with what he had to say was, I do think that Fury versus Wilder is pointless, and I do think that the WBC helped Wilder not fight Dillian Whyte, and they kept him away because they maybe looked at him as a threat.